Welcome to Echoes of Ikigai, where we focus on bringing value to the industry through the insights and creatives. I'm Elijah, and I'm here today with T5, the artist, the producer. What else, man? What else can we say about you?
The executive, I don't know, like that's what I guess that's what kind of what I do a lot of these days, more so of like administrative stuff and stuff like that, so I can build up the label. But I mean, I'm also still artist and engineer and
for
producer
sure.
too. Yeah, definitely.
I first met you at the Den, where I think it was you were mainly just engineering.
Yeah. That was the
Yeah, that was
time.
our first introduction a while back, and then later worked on a handful of your projects over at So South when you were bringing those back in. How's
I think that so like I think when we met, that was at the time when I was like really just focused on engineering, and so like I probably started like I started making music, bro. I've been making music since I was like 10, like something probably like that. My older brother, he used to be in like a group where we from in Michigan. And like, so I used to help him record and stuff like that. And then eventually he showed me how to record, or I learned how to record myself. He showed me whatever. And I used to record myself, and like, he would like write me songs and stuff and all that type of stuff. And then, so when I got older, you know, I wanted to do the same thing, but I think my mom or my grandma, I forgot who it was, they told me like you have to find a way to basically to like make money at this point in time right now. And so that's when I started like engineering and stuff like that. And so when he met me, that's when I was like full fledged like engineer. But now it's not. I don't really engineer that much anymore, to be honest with you.
You're from Chicago, right?
No, I'm from Flint, Michigan.
From Flint, Michigan, and
Yeah.
then Houston, then Chicago, or how did that go?
Yeah. So my parents moved to Houston when I was in the 10th grade. Yeah. So I was like 14 or something like that. My parents moved from Flint to Houston, and then I spent like 3 years in Houston, and then I went to school in basically it's a school that's like close to St. Louis, but it's in Illinois. And then I started interning in Chicago, and then I came back to Houston. That's when I started interning Sugar Hill, stuff like that.
Yeah, how was that your introduction to Sugar Hill? How did that happen?
There was Ethan Stevens. He's 21 Savage's engineer, and he's Metro and 21's engineer, and he used to go. I used to just follow all the engineers of the artists that I liked, and so Ethan was one of those people that I followed. And one day he posted like it was like a dump of like his last month or whatever time it was. And it was like the Crazy Bull, and it was like some Houston restaurants, and it was like Sugar Hill. And so I recognized everything else. Like I've been to Crazy Bull, I've been to the restaurants, but I didn't recognize Sugar Hill. So I Googled Sugar Hill, and that's when the studio came up. And I called Sugar Hill, and I was like, I'm trying to come an intern. And they're like, all right, we'll pull up on Tuesday. And so I pulled up Tuesday. I met Ryan, and goddamn, it was like history. Like,
Yeah, man. Shout out to Ryan Youngblood, man. He's a
no,
solid
for real,
dude, for
real
sure.
dude, for sure. I don't know. At the beginning of it, though, I ain't gonna lie, I felt like it was kind of BS. Cause like at the beginning of it, it's just like in the beginning, I guess I came when Lil Flip was recording his last album for his label deal, or whatever. So he was recording his album, but it was like a celebration at the same time too. Like I remember those studio sessions were just so like cool, and just like it was just like all the Houston OGs was there, and like
Yeah.
giving game. I'm not from Houston, so like I was just getting that time to just like
Meet the legends.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
for
meet the
sure.
legends and just sit back and hear their stories. Like I heard Lil Flip tell a story one time about how DJ Screw basically like ordained him to be the freestyle king, and like he was so young, and like everybody else around him just hated it, but DJ Screw was like, nah, like Lil Flip the one type thing. And then like you look fast forward to now and you see everything, so it was like just seeing all that type of stuff, it was cool. Like it was cool, but it wasn't at the same time, because I was still like I was like sweeping the floors, and like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, like going to the store and shit like that. Like I wasn't actually engineering at that point in time yet.
No, man. I think it's so interesting because I feel like we had so similar introductions into really the Houston music industry. Because me getting into it, I was first linked up with Steve and kind of got the internship at So South through something similar. I was telling you a little bit of this story earlier. I was supposed to meet Steve and the CEO of Social Behavior. I was supposed to meet them for an internship at Social Behavior, a marketing internship, and it was the same night. It was Lil Kiki's release party at Sugar Hill, and it was the same night of Game 7 in the World Series. And as soon as I left my house, they both text. Or at first, Steve was like, "Hey, she's not gonna make it. Like, it's all good. Like, you know." Or he was like, "He's not gonna make it, but she's still gonna make it. If you know, you want to like meet with her and talk to her about the interim." I was like, "All right, that's fine."
Yeah.
I pull up. He's like, "Yo, she's not gonna make it, bro."
Oh fuck,
Bro. Keep in mind, I look like what I look like. You know what I'm saying? This is Lil Flip's release party, bro. And at first, I'm like, you know what? I'm about to go home. You know, like there's no point. Like I literally knew no one there. You know what I'm saying? I've never been there before. I had no ties to the industry. Like, and, you know, eventually I just like worked up the courage and was like, man, like fuck it. When am I gonna get another opportunity to like go into this old like nice ass studio and fucking be some dope ass artists? So I went in and like it was super awkward, bro. It was like the most awkward situation I've ever
went
been.
into Sugar Hill and
Packed, bro. It was packed. Like barely can move through, bro. I'm like the only not black male there.
And then so what happens next?
Well, so Flip is like on the table doing his little, you know, performance in one of the rooms. And bro, I was getting so anxious with everyone kind of like looking at me that I was like, fuck it. I went all the way up to the front and just kind of was like in front of Flip so that I didn't really see everyone's gaze.
Yeah.
And yeah, bro, that it just blossomed into like, you know, I had a conversation with Steve the next day and he was like, "Oh shit, like you still went? Like that's fucking crazy. Like what the fuck?" And I'm like, I mean, like, yeah, bro, like you told me to go, whatever. And then that ended up blossoming into like him offering me an internship at So South.
Yeah, that's kind of how like, so I told you that Ethan Stevens was the person who like, I seen that from Instagram. And so like, I ended up getting to meet Ethan like 2 years later. And like, I tell him this story and like, he's like, what? Like, damn, that's cool. Like, I had no idea that you're here because of me. Like, you know, I had no idea of that. But like, shit, like come in the room and like, come and like learn some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like, that's dope as hell. And like, that's when I was just like, oh, like this shit is gonna be so easy. Like, I mean, I thought so, anyways.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends. Like some days it is some easy, days it is. And then some days it's just not. Like that's what I be telling people all the time. Like even if you do love what you do, like you're gonna get tired of it. Like I don't care what people say. Like you get tired of it. Like I love making music and I love everything about it. But like some days I just get tired of it. Some days I just need a break from it all. Like
no, for sure. And yeah, man, it gets tough. You know, I think that's just like this industry. It like, I mean, it's all things, but I feel like this industry, it's so emphasized because, you know, how instant gratification and like the idea that, you know, artists need to be putting out so much music all the time to kind of keep up.
What do you think about that? Because I know like that changed like over time. Like it used to be, we used to take a lot of time to make music. Now it's like, you know.
In my preference as a listener and a consumer, I would prefer the artists take as much time as they need to put everything they can in a body of work, because I'm such I appreciate music so much, and like the creative process of it. You can really feel when somebody put their fucking all their time and effort into a really great album.
Right.
As somebody who's been working on the business side for the last 5 or 6 years, I usually recommend people to drop at least once a month, at least a single, and they're conflicting views, but it really is just like that algorithm, bro. Like, especially for newer artists, like you have to learn to work that algorithm because then if you get, you know, 2 or 3 albums and, you know, 5, 10 singles down the line and you don't have any type of streaming numbers or like it just makes it that much harder. So it's tough. Like I feel like as a new artist, you really want to be doing everything you can. Like I don't think there's any wrong answers.
I feel like a lot of times people don't, especially artists, they don't. They'd like just want like something to come. Like they want like a deal per se to just come to them. Yeah. And like say this deal does come to you, but you don't have the
catalog.
You don't have the catalog to back it. Like most of the time, when these artists are getting these like 500s or 800s or $1 million contracts is because, or these advances anyways, is because they have the catalog that was already doing close to that.
That's
already.
All they're getting paid for,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't think people have any idea, like other than like if they know people in the industry, like what it advances is just your money that you're getting before you get it. And you know, if you sign a fucked deal, it's gonna be way worse than just paying back that amount. You know.
So what do you think about record deals? Because like
it's still. I think record major labels play a crucial role. It's nearly impossible to be A-list artist, world celebrity without a major label behind you. It's almost impossible. They own all the media outlets. They have all the connections, and there is no favors with them. Yeah. It's just doing it because it's them. Right. It's like it's almost more beneficial to the outlet or to the whatever they're asking for to help them, even if it means they get nothing in return.
Oh God, because eventually it's gonna pay off.
Yeah, but I mean, then again, to their defense, I think most music that has been popular and hits and like been played across the world, I don't think they would have been nearly as big without the labels. It's almost like a fact. I want to say it's a fact, but like obviously like there's things that definitely could have done like a lot on their own, but they're there to optimize what you already have going on. And so I always tell people, like, if you're looking to a record deal, like it really depends what you're like. If you're like really focused on the percentages and the money, like you need to build more leverage. You need to build your media, your social medias. You need to come in with, hey, I know how to control my audience and I know how to directly drive streams. What can y'all do for me?
Right.
As opposed to like, I have something cool going on and it's like, it's got some recent streaming revenue. Like I need a record deal to help boost my shit.
Right.
You're going to get fucked in that deal.
Yeah.
But when you have some leverage, like you're going to get a decent deal as long as you're working with decent people. It's tough though, finding decent people in the industry.
Okay, what do you think about the Drake, the lawsuit that he has against Universal?
I love it, man. I think it's a lot of people are like focusing on the defamation part of it, but I think he's trying to uncover some deeper things in the industry.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
like a lot of people don't know that they're if not part owners, full owners of Spotify.
Yeah, definitely part owners for sure.
They're for sure part owners. They might own a lot more than what people know.
Definitely. And that's why the percentages that we get paid for streams are so low.
Yeah.
People don't understand that all the way. That whole lawsuit could like change music forever, but people just want to make it as like he lost the rap battle, so he's like,
so he's mad, and like it's not even in lawsuit phase yet. Yeah. It's like a pre-deposition or whatever inquiry it is. So they're just trying to unlock data from Spotify and Universal Music,
the discovery, so they can get so they can see basically what they want to see without them being able to hide it, type thing.
Yeah, but that alone is going to open up some crazy.
Also, people don't understand that he was also. Like he was negotiating a new contract with them.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the defamation part comes in, that they were trying to like slander him, and they used that
you're promoting this record that's taking
me down,
blatantly calling me a pedophile. Right. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy.
That I am. That's crazy. That's such a crazy, like the whole situation was crazy though.
No, don't be wrong. I love Kendrick Lamar, and I love what he's done with this recent project, trying to bring the West Coast together, the Latin and the Black community.
Yeah.
I think he's doing something really, really cool. Whether or not that translates to as many streams as he's gotten, we'll find out,
So do you think his album would have did as good as it did without him going through this beef with Drake?
Oh, no, for sure not. No, bro, not even close, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the whole thing. I mean, you're talking about like a song that broke records, like not like us.
So do you think it was like real? Do you think all of this is real?
Oh, who knows, man?
Because I know you've seen some things that that like
most of that shit is fake.
It's fake
as far as this, bro. Like at first I was really leaning on the fake side, but like I don't know, bro. Like you really, it's hard to think that Drake is cool with just being called a pedophile, being labeled as a pedophile. Like that idea is like it can make sense, but like. You got to be in a really fucked up headspace to be like, yeah, bro, tell the whole world that I might be a pedophile. And like, there's okay, like, everyone's going to find these subtle clues or like there's like, I don't know. It is weird. It is weird. He's definitely been in some weird situations that I will not defend.
But you're talking about that I would not defend. Yeah. I mean, you can't really defend anybody's actions.
No, facts. But I just mean like, there's definitely some questionable things as far as like him being labeled as a pedophile.
Yeah,
so it might be, that's where it's like I'm leaning more on the side where it might be true too.
But like everybody has that, like Michael Jackson has those accusations against him.
I wouldn't say
R. Kelly has those accusations. But okay, let's not say everybody, but like I'm saying like everybody who gets to the point of them like there's been no other artist in this generation that's as big as Drake. There's been no other artist ever that's been as big as Michael Jackson. Like in R. Kelly's decade or his generation, there wasn't too many artists that was bigger than him. like even still right now, like his songs still get played. Like
Oh yeah,
we
for
20
sure.
years later, his songs still get played like faithfully. But I'm saying, and like his songs get played at like every year at like family gatherings and stuff like that. As to like somebody like Jay-Z who might be bigger in like public perception, but like his music doesn't get played like that. Like his music has replay value, don't get me wrong, but like his music doesn't get played every day, like, or his music doesn't get played for like occasions. Like R. Kelly is almost like celebrating, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you play
They have like
R.
two
Kelly when
completely
you do
different
that.
sounds too, though. I feel like R. Kelly's more of a mainstream, and Jay-Z, like, I mean, obviously he was
But that's what I'm
mainstream,
saying.
but,
Like
he
I
was
hate
really
when people do
underground.
that though, because like they're both artists. So it's like
Hey,
it's
man,
like
Jay-Z got a new accusation like a week or two ago.
yeah, he did. He did. I mean, see, what I'm like is like his team is going so hard to like clear his name of that, and
It
it's
sucks,
like.
because it's like, I mean, it seems like it's most likely not true.
But I seen 50 Cent. He said something, and he was like, basically, once you put the accusation out there, like that's the damage.
Yeah, no, for
It's
sure.
like the damage is already done as much as it could be. Like even if he did have to pay some money or didn't have to pay some money, like the damage is already done. Like the accusation was already made. They put him next to P. Diddy, and it's just like it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, he better not buy any baby oil for the next 3 months.
It's nuts.
They gonna really fry him. It's yeah, man. No, I get what you're saying though, bro. It's definitely a common amongst like minority A-list celebrities and musicians. And it definitely makes you think about like the conspiracy side of it. But
That's what
I
I'm
feel
saying.
like,
Like,
some of those guys though have like clear evidence that they're fucked up people though.
but I mean, like that's evidence that's like presented to us as like.
I'm pretty sure like R. Kelly has a video out there of him like pissing on like a 13-year-old girl.
But
somewhere.
that's not what he went to jail for, though. Like,
That's fine. I don't like.
like
But I'm just saying
he went
though,
to trial for that and beat that on trial,
which is crazy.
That's what I'm saying. So if he beat that on trial, but that's what people bring up when you talk about R. Kelly. Like that's
For
what we
sure,
talk
yeah.
about. Like, and he beat that. Like, you know what I'm saying? He said that wasn't him. Like, personally, I ain't never seen the video before, so I can't tell.
I mean,
you
I haven't seen
if
it either,
was
but
him
I've
or
seen the
not, but
documentary, and
you
it
know what I'm
was-
saying? Like, that's what I'm like. That's what I'm saying. Though you're watching a documentary about R. Kelly, they gonna try to make it as bad as
for
possible.
sure,
They're gonna try to
for
make it
sure.
as juicy. Like R. Kelly was just the worst person in the world, and like personally, I just don't believe that. But I mean, that's my personal belief. You know what I'm saying? Like.
But would you let like your younger cousin hang out with them?
No, why would I let my younger
No, I'm
cousin
just
hang out
playing,
with a
bro.
grown man? Like that don't make sense. Like you know what I'm saying?
But
and
that's
that's what I'm like.
Same
So
situation
if he
or
was
something, like-
hanging, if he was doing whatever he was doing to these children, where were their parents? Like why are their parents not being held accountable for keeping up with their children? Like
Nah, for sure.
is that not their job? Like is that not what they're supposed to be doing as parents? Like I just be confused sometimes because I just
No, it's definitely a valid argument, bro. But like, I don't know, when it comes to kids, like people like you said, bro. Once the accusation's out, it's like that label just gets you're just labeled now, bro. Like,
But it seems
and
like-
anything they find that can support that is now just
That's
more,
what I'm saying.
more
Like,
ammo against
and
you.
then it seemed like every time something like that happens, it's always like, oh, this person was trying to like, they were trying to do stuff like they were trying to get R. Kelly to sell his masters back to the label, or they were trying to get Michael Jackson to sell the Beatles catalog. Is it the Beatles catalog that he had?
I think he owned the Beatles.
Like-
He owned Eminem's catalog. He owned a lot.
Yeah,
bro.
they were trying to get him to sell somebody's catalog
Which is
back.
super fucked
Bill
up because when he
Cosby,
died,
like
I believe his family sold all that shit
immediately,
right
like
back.
immediately. I think they gave them like a whole bunch of money for it. They gave them like $500 million for it.
Man, bro.
But I mean, they probably see $500 million. They're not looking at it like me and you. Like that could be $500 million annually if you play that right. Like you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So
I
it's
mean,
like,
they wouldn't have bought
this
it
is the
unless they were gonna
Beatles. Like
double,
triple
their
that.
money.
Like
Yeah,
you know
at
what I'm
least
saying? Like
the bare minimum, bro.
yeah, definitely.
That's another thing. I don't know how I feel about artists selling their catalogs. I like the idea as an older artist, and like you don't really want to like pass that along to your kids because it's complicated, especially when like samples come through, publishing information. Like it's a lot of information that you just kind of have to have ready or like know which decisions to make. And
Yeah.
I can understand from like an older artist be like, you know what, I'm done.
Right.
I want to retire. I want to fucking do whatever I want to do. Like sell your account. But like young artists, I think it's like one of the
So
worst.
like you don't think
decisions.
Taylor Swift was a good idea? Well, I mean, I don't think
Like-
it was her idea or
Yeah, I
it was
think
her
she got
choice.
fucked by that label that she was in.
And then what? Who was her manager or her ex manager?
Right? Scooter Braun was managing her for a little bit. I'm not sure if he was the one that fucked her over. I don't know too much on that, but I do know she did get fucked over.
Scooter Braun, people don't even know. Like he low key got like his hands on a whole bunch because he owns he owns a label. I think it's called like Hype, and they own QC. So it's like he has like Justin
he doesn't
Bieber.
Own Hype. He became the CEO. I believe he became the
CEO.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
After releasing all of his artists from contract, he might be a part ownership though, if I'm not mistaken. He might actually.
I don't know. I know he part of that.
But it's a Korean music company that are just out here trying to like.
They have everybody
do some crazy shit.
They have like Justin Bieber. They have Ariana Grande, like the artists that he had. And but then they have like the QC artists. So they have Lil Baby and the City Girls and like Lil Yachty and them like the Migos. Like
what is his name again? The owner of QC.
CLP or you're talking about Coach K.
Coach K. When I went to AC3, he gave a panel. Did. Bro, he had some fire knowledge, bro. Like he was dropping just dimes just about like, his journey of like creating QC and then getting bought out. It was maybe like a month or two after they had gotten bought out. So it was like just happening.
Well, he's like Coach K, he's like a legend before because he came with like, he put a Gucci Man and Jeezy on.
Yeah, no, they would talk a little bit. I think that like in their questions to him, they would kind of like insinuate some of the stuff he did in the past. So I was like looking into him a bit. I had never really heard of him.
Big dog, for real, yeah.
But when I was like, oh, he's like owner of QC, like that's kind of crazy. Like they were talking about that. I think they're either building or they already have a QC label building in Atlanta.
Damn. So what do they do with that? Do they keep it just running how they were running it, or what?
Well, I think no, I think they're still gonna be running QC. It's just I guess they're either part ownership or they're just like owned by iHype and they're just kind of like working the machine. Yeah,
that's cool.
With a lot more bread in their pockets, you know what I'm saying? But
and they already did all the hard part too. Like they all of their artists are already established at this point. So it's like,
yeah, he was talking about some real hardcore like feet on the ground marketing. I'm trying to think about some of the stuff he said, but he was talking about going to all types of countries and like would go there, if I'm not mistaken, like go there by himself and like meet all the people he needed to meet. For when he was ready to bring artists out and like making sure, bringing the right artists that had the audiences in the right places, like obviously, but like, and crossing those international barriers, bro, and creating audiences in these different countries, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, bro, it was really crazy.
That's where the money's at for real.
I mean, shit, that's what he was talking about. What kind of led them up to being bought out by Hype is, it was really, really amazing. I feel like that was one of my favorite panels. I felt like AC3 wasn't very music centric last year, at like barely, bro, which is crazy. It was more like really tech related, and I don't know. That was my first time. So, but I had
you like AC3 better than you like South by?
No, bro, I fucking love. I think South by is the best, including like music festivals. Might be one of the best festivals.
Like even like Rolling Loud and shit like that,
bro. I love Austin. But I don't know. I haven't. I went to Rolling Loud for like one day, one time, but like I didn't get the full experience. I think it'd be different if I got the full experience at Rolling Loud, but it definitely is not better than Astroworld. Astroworld was crazy.
Oh, you were there?
I was at the first one, and I was supposed to, bro. So the first one, I was an intern when I went to the first one.
Okay.
But I was already working with Heavy, and they had the Houston All-Star lineup. And so they had all the Houston guys on the lineup, and I could have easily gone back with him, but I was an intern phase, so I didn't want to ask any favors.
Yeah, be like that sometimes.
You know what I'm saying? So like I already had a ticket, so I'm like, all right, I'm just going. But the next time they had the Houston All Stars lineup again for the second one.
Yeah, like I'm in there.
For sure. Yeah, I'm in there, bro. But they were on Saturday the next night, and all that shit went down Friday night. Damn. So I didn't even buy my ticket, so I wasn't even there Friday night, and I was supposed to go Saturday with the team. I think I was gonna go with Slim and them, and then that shit happened. Was like, damn.
Yeah, that shit was crazy as hell,
bro. I knew, like, I saw something like I think late that night, and I was like, and I woke up and it was like, saw a bunch of shit. I got text, bro. I was like, bro, people were like freaking out about that shit. Like, I mean, obviously it was a big deal, but like it seemed like it was gonna be a way bigger deal. Like people were gonna be in jail and prison for some shit. Like,
damn. Bro, how do you like police something like that,
bro? Well, I was working
just like
at the time.
Riot, like a mass riot.
hopefully she's okay with me talking about this. But at the time, I was working. I was doing some work with Latoya, the a publicist, and she was on the PR team the first week. And you know how they had the celebrity softball thing and all those events? She was on the PR team that whole week up until that happened. And she was like, yo, like I don't want to be a part of this. Like, you know, I don't want my name associated with this or because she wasn't technically part of the PR firm that was in charge of it. So it was like, you know, it was just like putting her name on it for no reason, you know? And, yeah, it was really, but she was talking about some of that, like how, like we were asking like, yo, like, how is this going to go? Like, what are they going to do? And like, everybody was really like confused and had no idea what was about to happen, especially because like that night or even that morning, bro, everyone was already attacking Travis, bro. Like it seemed like he was about
I don't understand though. Like what could he have fucking done? Like
people think like, I don't know. You've seen what it looks like on stage when there's a fuck ton of people. You know, I've been on stage and seen a fuck ton of people, let alone there was like 100,000 people there, bro. I've never seen.
He has nothing to do with any of that. Like he comes in through the back when it's
well, no,
already
that's what I'm saying.
set
They think
up,
like he could have like seen it and then stopped it. But like in order for him to stop it, he would have had to see it. And like, bro, trying to see any of that, like if it's not right, the very first people in front of you, you're like, they're just blobs, bro. Especially if it's like darker. It was darker, but it was nighttime when he had his set. So like everyone's got their phone lights out. And you can't see faces. You just see lights moving around, you know.
And then they usually go crazy at his shows, so it's like there's not nothing new. Like I know they always like mosh and shit at his shows.
I remember when during his set, when I got up like maybe one person away from like the front stage, and it was to the point where people were like passing out because of how fucking condensed it was, and people were just picking them up and like throwing them over to like the security guards by the stage. That was the fucking I don't know if it was the first year, because they did 3 years, right? Or they just did 2. But it was yeah, and that was just like before all that shit went down. That was the whole time before. I'm like, man, that's fucking insane. That was scary, bro.
I would imagine that seems kind of,
because there's no getting out of there. There's, you know, you just gotta like wait till the set's over if you're like that far, you know, which is crazy. Like I remember that same night, Playboy Cardi's set, bro. He probably had, it was damn near almost bigger than Travis Scott's set. Like I wasn't even in the crowd, bro. Like I'm way out, and you know it's in Astrodome NRG parking lot, this big ass area, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not even close to the stage. When Playboy Cardi comes on, the whole crowd, like tens of thousands of people is rushing, and I get picked up, bro. Like I'm not even, my feet are probably like 2 feet off the ground, bro. I'm in the crowd, like off of my feet, just moving towards the fucking middle. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Like I was like freaking out. Like I thought I was gonna die a couple times.
So like at what point do you like blame the fans? Like at what point do you have to like hold the fans accountable for doing bullshit?
I think at every point, bro. In my personal opinion, I mean, bro, if you're fucking, you know, like going to a place where you know people are gonna be fucking freaking out, moshing, doing all types of shit, bro, there's plenty of ways to not get into that shit. You know, you just stand way the fuck out of the way.
Because didn't like kids died at Astro World and shit like that, right? Like one kid died or something like that. That's what I'm saying. Like why would you
multiple kids?
Why would you multiple kids die? Why would you bring your kids to that type of situation?
that was like the big argument.
And then even then on top of that, like even if you do bring your kids, why would you not like have them close? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I just don't like I don't understand.
No, I mean I don't see a situation where I would ever think it's okay to bring a kid to any type of festival.
You know what
like,
I'm saying?
You know what I mean? Like, just when you think of festival, I mean, even somebody who's never been is like, okay, like drugs, music.
That's the first thing I thought of in my head too. Drugs, you know what I mean? Music. Before you even think about the music, you think about the drugs.
Right, right. Because it's the environment. You know, the environment you're bringing.
And it's all good vibes, but like not for kids. So
yeah. No, I mean, and there are like good, like during the day they had all the rides. It was packed, bro. But like, you know, there's areas where you can just be way off in the side and just be in the grass chilling by yourself. Like, you know, like those areas still hear the music. You're still experiencing the festival. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's ways to stay safe, but you know, you're probably bringing your kid in the middle of the fucking crowd, or, you know, I don't know. Hopefully, I mean, not hopefully, but maybe that's how it happened. I don't know how it happened. Maybe it happened like on the way out and there was nothing they can do.
I thought it was like when they were going in, like people were getting trampled going in. This is what the story that I remember anyways. I'm not too familiar with it.
I mean, they were like breaking it both times, bro. I remember I saw like 100 people jump the fence.
Oh,
Like,
so they broke in.
that was the first time. I didn't go the second one, but the first time, yeah, they were like already, they were all jumping the fence, bro. Cause like you can only catch a few, you know what I mean? And then once they're in, it's over, bro. There's fucking 50, 60,000 people here. Yeah, bro. It was crazy, bro. Like we got there like 9 or 10 a.m. and it was already like insanely packed. Like doors aren't even open, bro.
Damn.
Like
that's just cool that he has that type of effect though.
Yeah. I mean, you see, he just did a show recently in like London or somewhere. It was like
it was in like Brazil or something like that. It was something crazy. That shit was big as hell.
I think a couple other people. I don't know if they died or it was like a whole bunch of people got injured in that one. So they were going fucking crazy. Like that's just the energy they bring.
Yeah, his fans. I mean, that's cool, but
yeah, I mean, shout out to him that he can bring out that energy and that culture. But like, yeah, maybe talk to them about. I don't know, like, because I feel like those people you can't even say anything to because it's just like, it's just ignorance, man. You know,
ignorance. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, because they don't know. They don't know that that's gonna end up happening, and
right,
like, people are gonna get hurt. They're going out having a good fucking time. You know, like most of the time they've gone out and fucking got fucked up, done drugs, and at festivals and been completely fine, had the best time of their life. You know. Right. And
this one time it didn't go down how I would like that. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's upsetting, bro, because I feel like we're never gonna have something like that in Houston again. Like it's gonna be at least like 10 years before we get something like that.
Houston probably just needs like another artist like that. I'm not gonna lie. I think Houston has one with D-Baby. Like I think D-Baby could be that type of.
I fuck
sometimes like, but then again, like I see how like drugs hold people back sometimes. So it'd be like, you know what I'm saying? Like then his whole like image is like centered around drugs. So like, what if he stops doing drugs? Like, do his fans still accept him? No, like seriously, like
that's why I'm laughing because of how ironic that is.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Now that he sobers up and stuff, because like I've heard some of his fans be like, yeah, like he was supposed to be sobering up and like not like, you know, doing drugs anymore. And like that's all cool and everything, but like that's the motivation to make the music and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the songs are about drugs. So it's like, what if he does? Like, do they still?
Yeah, it's one of the negative things. I hope we can break barriers on, like this negativity in the industry and like upholding this negative image. And it's tough, bro, because like when they do want to make, if he doesn't want to make that positive transition, he's like most likely not going to get that support.
Definitely not. I don't think so. Anyway,
like probably not at all. You know, and
it's just like how hip hop, the culture of hip hop.
Yeah, it's the culture, man. But I think it's starting to change. I hope it's not really anything I can like point at to indicate that it is changing. But I feel like as a species, we're starting to be a little bit more involved in certain things, and whether that be like cancel culture or just like really thinking about, you know, the consequences of actions of like really like people that have these influences who we've never really like, other than like the leaders in history, nobody's really had these influences and like royalty and like other those people. But now we have like these individuals that have created something and then now like have amassed this following that, to me, they're somewhat responsible of those of the influence they have over those people, you know. And you know, whether they feel that way or not, I don't know. It's up to like everyone has that journey, you know, to eventually get to that point of like, you know, what kind of message am I sending, you know. And I hope we could get to a place where people, I wouldn't want it to be like all conscious rap or anything, but you know, like hopefully we get to a place where people can convey like better messages in a cooler way.
Without like,
like maybe not like the Will Smiths of the world, but like, you know, the Lil Russell, like Lil Russell's a prime example.
It goes off of music changes every like 10 years or so.
Yeah.
So like, I think that is just a time for it to change. I think when did Chief Keef come out? Like 2012. I mean, like that's honestly like he's the start of like the drill scene and like where we are now to how it's progressed. And so like his 10 years, like he might not have been out for 10 years, but his style that I'm not even gonna say that he created it, but he's like one of the first people that we heard, you know, make this type of music. So that type of style will go in 10 years, and I feel like it's coming on 10 years. Like it's probably a little past 10 years.
It's probably a little past 10 years. No,
I think
sure.
that
He's
time,
legendary for sure.
You know what I'm saying? But like you just see like the dethrone of like, because I always talked about this, like everything that goes up must come down. Like Rome fell, like, you know, everything falls. And so like when at what point was Drake supposed to fall? You know, like at what point, like, you know, like his fall was coming, like, you know, one way or the other. Like he could have fell gracefully, you know, of old age, like Michael Jackson, or he could have been tore down like R. Kelly. But it was gonna happen some type of way, like, you know what I'm saying? And so like now you get to see the fall of like the biggest artists of our generation, of our, you know, time of music. And like, so now what's next? Who's the next person that could take his spot? Kendrick Lamar is a really good artist, but Kendrick Lamar cannot do what Drake does as far as you have songs for the ladies and songs for the just all the songs that he can make, the versatility of him. Wow, I'm not saying that Kendrick Lamar is not versatile as an artist, he is, but he's just not like, how many times have you been in a club and heard a Kendrick Lamar song?
He's a versatile rap artist.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean? Drake,
yeah.
he goes like he's like everywhere with it. Like but like for real, like how many times have you been in a club and heard a Kendrick Lamar song?
I mean, not so fucking recently.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe like Money Trees or
you know what I'm saying?
Good Kid, Mad City one time.
And it was just like on some shit, like, oh, like,
now Good Kid, Mad City was for sure in the clubs.
Yeah, this shit, like, you know what I'm saying? But like, and compared to how many Drake songs you hear at a club in one night, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you hear so many, and it's
so
just
like, I saw a couple. I think it was Complex or a rap that posted like Drake's still like the #1 streamed artist by like an unreasonable amount. Like, I don't even think Kendrick was like top 5. Like maybe not even top 10. I don't know. I'll have to double check. But like, I mean, there's some big ass artists in there.
I mean, like as far as like big artists goes, it's like really like Taylor Swift and like Bad Bunny and like, you know, Billie Eilish, and the Drake is up there with them. But like even that, like that whole like those numbers are crazy. Like Taylor Swift, when she drops her album, she does like 1.2 million her first week. Like her second week looks like her second and third weeks look like rappers' first weeks. Like the crazy like influence that she has on music is just so crazy. And I never understand like how people get there. Like what makes somebody so like big like that? And it'd be like, is this
She's
like
got such a cult following, man. I think it's
but
just
how do you build this cult following? Like,
I think it's just a consequence of the effort and the work she's put in, bro. Like I don't know, like my girlfriend's a Swiftie or whatever, and that's bro, like shit like that, bro. You know what I mean? Like it just gets other people like they have a label
to call themselves,
bro,
the Beehive or etc.
You know what I'm saying? Like it just a sense of community, if anything, that people are getting, but also like she's put so much effort and work into, because you know I have a conversation with my girlfriend, essentially kind of the same that we're having now, and talking about like, you know, like how does she like. I don't like her music. Not that I think it's bad. It's not for me, you know. Like
I ain't
gonna
lie, Taylor
cool.
Swift make really good music. Like
being
a producer
really
and an engineer songs, and stuff.
But I'm not gonna like. I don't have any of her songs on my playlist, and I'm not even like. It's
I have
an
album. I have a Taylor Swift album that I bought because it's so good. Like,
oh shit!
The sonics of it is like great. Like it just sounds so crazy. She has a song with Future on there, and it's just like probably like the best that I've ever heard Future's voice like mixed. Anyways, like. And it's just like everything about that. I was just like, damn, like this whole process was like sometimes when I'm mixing a song, I go back and I like listen to this, listen to that.
She like does almost like, all her shit. If I'm not mistaken, mostly like well,
she doesn't mix
everything.
it. She does the producing and stuff, but she doesn't engineer it.
She writes it all too.
And so I go back and look at like the engineering of it and be like, whoa, like,
imagine that she's crazy. Like probably like 50 to 75% of all that publishing. Bro, she's fucking killing it, bro. Released a different version of her own album that did better than the fucking first.
That's probably why they didn't want her to have her catalog, because that's like some real power. Like when you got that type of
and then as she grows, it's just the catalog is just gonna grow, you know. So and then worst case scenario, she dies, that catalog is gonna go fucking crazy, bro. Yeah. Like I don't know, man. I think I really like Billie Eilish. I think she's dope as fuck. I think she could be a lot fucking bigger, bro.
Yeah, like
her last album, really, bro. Like. Her last couple albums were really fucking good, bro. Like, I got both of them for my girl on vinyl, and we're listening to them the other day. Like, because you know, getting vinyls now, getting into that, I've been more in a situation where I'm listening to albums all the way through, which I've like never really done. I'm like listening like 30 seconds, a minute, the first song. If I don't like it, I'm skipping it. But then with the vinyl, it's like you really got to listen to the whole thing unless you want to go and like mess with it. And it really gives me a different appreciation
See,
for an album.
I
For
feel
sure.
like with an album, I have like a rule of like you have to listen to an album twice through before you can judge it, because the first time you listen to it, it's new. Like your ears have never heard, you know, what the artist is trying to bring to you. So
Right.
you gotta like just take it in like that. And then the second time is when you really like can, you know, start dissecting it for like, ooh, this is good, this is bad, because you heard it already. And like then, because there's been a lot of times where I've heard an album and I hear the song and I'm like, I don't know. I listen to it again and I'm like, oh no, that's it, like that's the hit. I'll tell somebody like around me like this is the hit, and like they'll be like, what are you talking about? Like, this is the hit, and then we look up 3 months later and that's the hit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you just got to give stuff that time to really just like resonate, because like it'd be different. Like I don't know, like I don't know about you, but I've been in studio sessions where like the artist has started making a song and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? And then by the end of it, I'm like, I know all the words to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and so it just be stuff like that. Like, you just gotta just let artists be in creative spaces, like stuff like that.
Oh, for sure. I think that's how I kind of felt about Lefty Gunplay's verse.
And
I thought at first I'm like, bro, this ruined the song.
are you
Like, I
talking
did
about
not
in
like that
Kendrick
shit.
Lamar's album?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I didn't listen to it.
Bro, I didn't like it at first, but then like after I listened to it, fuck it was like playing in my head that like crazy, scary, spooky. Like I'm hearing it in my head. I'm like, bro, that shit is catchy, bro. What the fuck? Like, I mean, the beat's fucking insane, but I just thought it was a weird addition that it's just kind of relating it to what you were talking about, how that kind of like a first time I heard it was like I didn't like it at all, bro.
That's how it be.
And then I heard
sometimes.
it again, and then it got stuck in my head. I'm like, what the fuck? And I had to listen to it again. I'm like, and now I kind of enjoy it. I'm like waiting for his part at the end where I'm like, okay, I can. It's interesting that like so many people had to. I mean, obviously Kendrick, but like there had to be other people involved who were like, nah, just these 4 words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These 4 words repeated fucking 5 times. I think that's hilarious, bro. Like several people had to agree to just put that out. You know what I mean? Like, and he had fucking a whole verse. You know what I mean? Just took it out. They're saying it might come out on like the deluxe or something, but like that's also crazy. It's like having a whole verse and then that's the shit that comes out. It's like those 4 words you said.
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't hear it, but
It's all right, bro. I listened to it after I saw all the Latin artists that he had on there, and somebody was telling me about what he was trying to do with the album, and I was like, oh, let me look into it, because I was kind of on like, I don't know, bro. Like I just felt like he was just reaching a lot for just trying to work and build on this clout that's going on with Drake, and you know it is what it is, bro. But
are you talking about Kendrick Lamar?
Yeah, just like kind of still wanting to kind of get in there, and whether that died or what. I got another battery in my bag. It's all good. But yeah, man, I just felt like he was just really doing too much, and I don't like I said, I like when people put a lot of work in their album. I'm like, this is really fast to drop another piece of work, you know, but.
That was another thing about Sugar Hill. I learned how to like really work on the album, like really just like sit and like craft and like
make 40 songs. And then
you know what I'm saying, and end up with 10 to 15, and like, but you just spent fucking 4 or 5 months making fucking 40 songs. You know what I'm saying? Every night, like I don't know, but it more so is like a vibe. Like those studio sessions end up becoming like a part of your life, like. Time period, sure. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you'd be like, oh well, those Lil Flip sessions or those Lil Durk sessions, or it'd be like, you know what I'm saying? And like they go into different like things for sure, and they so crazy.
What's your favorite project that you've worked on?
My favorite project, I didn't get credit for it because I was like technically just assisting. Turn me up, Josh, but like I actually did get to record Durk a little bit, and so on his The Voice Deluxe project, he recorded. He did a lot of that in Sugar Hill, and so he was in Sugar Hill So Lil Durk was actually at Sugar Hill when King Von died. Like he was in Sugar Hill. Like that was probably like his 5th day, I believe. So like him and Metro were supposed to be working on a mixtape together, and so that was like they had the studio for 10 days, whole studio, whatever. And so like Metro would come in early and like make beats, but Durk wouldn't come in until late. And so by the time Durk came, Metro was ready to go party. And so, Metro is like, I've been here all day. Like I made beats, and like I guess he would play the beat for Dirk. Dirk would be like, and Dirk would just like call his producers, and like they would just come in and just load up beats. And so Lil Dirk would just play like the songs he did the night before, and then he would just start working on some new shit. And like, you know what I'm saying, he was just working on shit, and like, so then I forgot how it happened, but 21 Savage got on the phone at one point, and he's like, "Oh shit, y'all at Sugar Hill? Like, I love Sugar Hill." He recorded Savage Mode 2 at Sugar Hill.
Oh shit.
And so like that whole project at Sugar Hill, and so he comes down too, and so like now the whole Sugar Hill is booked. All 4 rooms are booked. There was 4 rooms at that time. All 4 rooms are booked. With fucking Metro and Southside was in one room. Fucking Lil Durk's homies like Buka and them was in one room. Lil Durk had a room, and 21 had a room. And so I was in the room with Durk, and I was just assisting him and Turn Me Up Josh. Turn Me Up Josh, RP, he's dead now. And he was like going through some shit, like some health shit. And so he was like falling off. Like he would just like take long ass breaks, and like Dirk would be trying to record. So I would step up and record him, you know what I'm saying? And like that was just a fun, like that whole process was just so fun, just because like I wasn't really too much of a fan of, like I was a fan of like the older Lil Durk, but then like once I saw like his process and everything like that, and like at that time he was like one of the hottest rappers, and like he was walking into the studio with no games, like no bullshit, like, and working, like, you know what I'm saying? And so just being a part of that one was super cool. And it was probably that one and Lil Flip's project, just because that was like the beginning of Lil Flip's last project. I forget what it was called, but just like that whole experience too was just fun, because it was like a whole vibe the whole way through it. Like, and then Lil Flip is a little different because he's from Houston, so people pulling up on him and getting to see him and wanting to talk to him and all type of shit. And so like I just got to see just so much different shit with him, like all the stories that he has from being an OG type shit, and then for everybody else, like from around him, like he has a song, I think it's called the Southside something, I forgot what the fuck it's called. It's like 20-minute song, and it's like everybody from Houston is on this fucking song, and goddamn,
I think I know what you're talking about.
And fucking like just recording that song was just so crazy, because like all the stories that came in between, like somebody would come in and record that verse, and he'd be like, "Man, I don't know about that."
Yeah.
And hear it again and be like, "Oh, okay, well maybe he did." You know what I'm saying? It'd just be stuff like that. And it was like he just being like seeing Lil Flip in real life was just, I don't know, it was just different experience. Yeah. So those two.
So any advice you'd like to give anybody trying to get into producing or being an artist, or what?
I would give would be like, just go for it, like just do it. Like there isn't like a blueprint, there isn't like a handbook, there isn't like, you can't go to school and it's not going to guarantee you that you get into the opportunity or the position that you didn't want to do it with. Like just do it. Like that's it. Like there ain't nothing else to it. Like just do it. Like if you want to go do something, it's gonna find a way. I remember before I got to Sugar Hill, it was like 3 months before I had known this lady, and I used to tell her like what I wanted to do in my life, which is producing and all that stuff. But I worked at Walmart, and she was like, "If you want to do that, like just do it, and it's gonna figure itself out." And I'm like, I got bills and stuff like that. She's like, "It's gonna figure itself out." So I'm like, I'm listening to her. I'm like, okay, bet. So I do it, and I take these chances, and shit figured itself out, like dead ass. And like,
that's how, man. That's great advice, man. Because that's really how the podcast is going, man. Like different, like trying to do different things, or trying to start it in general, and then every time we would do like a mock episode, it was like, okay, like these things need to be done. Like we're far from where we need to be, and like now we're like at a really comfortable position. So we're like, obviously there's things we know we need to level up, but it's like
super easy.
Now we can fucking seamlessly record about an hour with little to no issues, and that's a fucking great fucking, from where we started, it's really going well, man.
Oh God. So this is what I do in Chicago too. And so, like I run a media company, so we go through all of this type of stuff as well. And
what is it called?
Walla Cam.
Walla Cam.
Remember the one I had? Yeah.
I was, for the audience, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay. Walla Cam, and basically it's just like dancing, and like it's a whole media company though. Like now we're turning into a full, but it's like it's focused on the Midwest and stuff like that. And so we just focus on all the like mainly the Chicago artists because that's where it started and that's where it is. But we focus on all the Midwest. The Midwest is like actually a lot bigger than people like know
No,
that
for
it
sure.
is. And yeah, we do that. We have like 100 million views on YouTube, 200,000 subscribers on there. You know, just all that type of stuff.
Hell yeah, keep grinding, man. Shout out Walla Cam out of Chicago Media Company. Anything else you want to plug, man? Before we get out of here?
I don't like.
Shout out T5MadeIt,
Oh
Spotify,
yeah,
Apple Music,
No,
everywhere.
that's always like we always plug that. T5 made it everywhere on everything. Yeah, that's that.
That's
Like,
it, man. Well, I really appreciate you coming through,
yeah, I
man.
appreciate you having me,
It's been a
bro.
minute since we've seen each other, but
Yeah,
man,
for
I
real.
really
I've been out
appreciate
of
you.
town for a lot, but you know, bro, every time I come back, it's good.
Yeah, man. Once again, thank you, man.